What if I told you that within the heart of Pisces there are souls born under sacred days, days so luminous that heaven itself bends closer to the earth to bless them? What if I told you that you might be one of these rare chosen ones? Would you dare to stay until the end to discover if your birth carries the mark of divine favor? Every great story begins with a question, and tonight, the question is not about the stars far away in the sky, but about you. You are here, listening not by chance, but by alignment. The universe has guided you to this moment, because within you, there is a calling, a soft whisper that has echoed in your soul since the day you were born. Pisces is not just a sign, it is the keeper of mysteries, the guardian of endings that turn into beginnings, and the bridge between the visible and the invisible. Among all signs of the zodiac, Pisces carries the weight of spiritual completion. It holds the final chapter before a new cycle begins. That is why the Pisces soul feels both blessed and tested, both fragile and infinite. But here is where the mystery deepens. Not every Pisces carries the same flame. There are certain dates, precise and rare, where those who arrive on Earth are given extraordinary gifts, divine protection, and a mission far greater than themselves. Think of it like this. Out of countless drops in the ocean, a few shine with a golden light that never fades. These souls walk with unseen guardians. They are touched by grace, wrapped in a spiritual shield, and called to transform pain into wisdom, chaos into harmony, and darkness into pure light. If you were born under Pisces, then your story is already unique. But if you were born under these sacred dates, then your story is destined to be a living testament of divine purpose. And let me ask you this, have you ever felt different? Have you ever sensed that life's storms were harsher for you, that your heart felt more deeply, that your dreams carried truths too real to ignore? If so, it may be because your soul remembers what your mind has not yet fully grasped. You are not just existing, you are walking on holy ground every day of your life. Stay with me, because in the next breath, we will step into the depths of what it truly means to be born under Pisces, to carry within you the sacred mark of the chosen, and to discover whether your very birthday is the key that unlocks the reason you were blessed by God. The spiritual blueprint of Pisces. Let us take a deep breath together and enter the vast ocean of Pisces. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of the sea. The waves rise and fall, whispering secrets that only the soul can hear. This is the essence of Pisces, a sign that does not simply live within the world but drifts between worlds. Pisces carries the memory of everything that has come before, for it is the 12th sign, the one that holds the final chapter before the story begins again. That is why many Pisces feel older than their years, as if they have walked through centuries and lifetimes, carrying lessons from each. Pisces is often called the dreamer, but to call them only dreamers is not enough. They are visionaries, healers, and channels of divine love. They sense what others cannot. They feel what others overlook. They walk with invisible companions, for their intuition is not just a gift, it is a compass that points them toward truth, even in the darkest nights. A Pisces may not always be able to explain how they know something, but when they speak, their words often carry the weight of prophecy. This is because their soul is tuned to a higher frequency, one that listens to the echoes of heaven. The symbol of Pisces, two fish swimming in opposite directions, reveals much about their inner nature. On one side there is the longing for transcendence, the desire to return to the divine source, to rise above the chaos of human life. On the other side, there is the calling to serve, to stay grounded, to bring light into the world of flesh and struggle. This dual current creates a life of paradox, where Pisces feels pulled both toward heaven and toward earth, and within this tension lies their beauty. They are the bridge. They are the river that connects the ocean to the shore. This is why many Pisces feel misunderstood. How could the world easily understand someone who is carrying the weight of all signs within them? Their compassion can appear too soft, their sensitivity too fragile. But in truth, these qualities are their strength. They are mirrors, reflecting the emotions of those around them, often absorbing the pain of others without even realizing it. Yet when they learn to master this gift, when they understand that their heart is not a burden but a holy vessel, they become healers unlike any other. The Pisces soul often carries wounds that seem to come from nowhere. These wounds are not curses, they are sacred reminders. They are proof that their journey is not ordinary. Every tear, every loss, every betrayal becomes a piece of divine training. It is as if the universe has chosen them to feel more deeply so that they can shine more brightly. The heart of Pisces breaks open so that divine love can pour through, reaching those who would otherwise remain untouched by grace. When you look into the eyes of a true Pisces, you see more than a person. You see a reflection of eternity. They hold stories that words cannot contain. They hold compassion that does not end. And when they are aligned with their higher calling, they carry within them the rare ability to lift others simply by existing. For this reason, Pisces is not just another sign. It is the embodiment of spiritual completion, the sign that teaches us all what it means to love beyond boundaries and to trust in the unseen hand of God. The chosen dates. Now we reach the moment that many hearts have been waiting for. Because while every Pisces carries a sacred mission, there are certain days in the calendar where the veil between heaven and earth opens just a little wider, and through that opening, souls of extraordinary power are born. These are the chosen dates. They are rare, they are luminous, and those who arrive in this world during these days carry an energy that is unlike anything else. Let us begin with the cluster of days that falls near the end of February, from the 22nd to the 24th. These souls are the sacred dreamers. They are born with vision that does not belong only to this earth. Their dreams are not ordinary dreams. They are windows into what is coming, whispers from the divine, and guidance for those who have lost their way. A Pisces born during these days often feels that their nights are as powerful as their days, for the spirit world speaks to them clearly when their body rests. These individuals are called to remind humanity that there is more beyond the veil, that the unseen is as real as the seen. Next, we step into March, and we arrive between the 7th and the 10th day of the month. Here we find the spiritual warriors. These Pisces are not only dreamers, they are survivors, and not just survivors, but alchemists who turn pain into light. Life often places heavy trials in their path, yet what breaks others only polishes them into radiant beings of resilience. They have scars, yes, but those scars are not marks of weakness. They are golden maps that guide others out of darkness. A Pisces born within these days is called to lead, not with force, but with compassion, so strong that it melts fear and inspires faith. And then, there are the keepers of thresholds, those born between the 19th and the 20th of March, standing at the edge of the Zodiac year. These souls carry the keys to doors most of us cannot even see. They are the gatekeepers of endings and beginnings. Their presence marks transition, both for themselves and for those around them. They carry the rare ability to close cycles that have lingered for generations and to open paths that no one else dared to walk. If you have ever known a Pisces born at this cusp, you know that they feel like dawn itself. They are the first light after the longest night. They are the living reminder that endings are never final. They are simply sacred openings for something greater. When you put these chosen dates together, a pattern emerges. They are not scattered at random. They are aligned with turning points, with thresholds, with moments when the universe itself shifts. Those who are born on these days are entrusted with more than ordinary lives. They are entrusted with missions that ripple out to generations. Their very birthdays carry codes, spiritual imprints that speak of divine favor and responsibility. It is not always easy, but it is always meaningful. They are rare lights in a world that often forgets how to see. So when we speak about Pisces born on these sacred days, we are not speaking about luck or chance. We are speaking about destiny. We are speaking about souls who volunteered to carry both the burden and the blessing of extraordinary spiritual power. And whether they know it or not, they are walking proofs that God still breathes through human hearts. Why they are blessed by God. Now that we have uncovered the sacred dates, it is time to understand why these Pisces are not just gifted, but truly blessed by God. Imagine for a moment that the soul is a vessel. For many, the vessel is filled only with enough to carry them through ordinary life. But for those born on these chosen days, the vessel overflows. It carries divine light, spiritual protection, and an unshakable sense of destiny. They are not left to wander aimlessly. They are guided, sometimes in ways too subtle for the human mind to explain, but always in ways that the heart can feel. The blessing does not mean their path is without storms. In fact, it is often the opposite. The storms come harder, the waves crash stronger, and the fires of trial burn hotter. But here is the mystery. They are not destroyed. They emerge, purified, strengthened, refined into something greater. Where others would break, they bend and rise again. This is divine favor in its truest form. It is not about escaping life's hardships, but about being protected within them, about being lifted above the weight that would have crushed another. They carry what I like to call a shield of light. It may not always be visible, but it is always present. This shield is why, even when betrayed, they find restoration. It is why, even in despair, they find hope again. Their shield is not made of stone or steel. It is made of grace. It allows them to walk through valleys of shadow and still rise as beacons for others. And in this way, they become walking testimonies of God's mercy, chosen to remind the world that heaven has not forgotten us. These Pisces are entrusted with keys to the invisible. They open doors of compassion where hearts were closed. They bring healing where wounds refuse to close. They shine where darkness has lingered too long. And though they may not always recognize the magnitude of their role, the truth remains. God has blessed them because they were meant to carry light into places most people fear to enter. The challenges they face. With such blessing also comes a weight, and this is where many of these chosen Pisces struggle. Their sensitivity is both their sword and their wound. Because they feel the world so deeply, they are easily overwhelmed by pain that is not even theirs. They can absorb sorrow like a sponge soaks up water, and without protection, it can drown them. Many turn toward illusions, searching for escape in distractions or unhealthy habits, because the burden feels too heavy to carry alone. But the truth is that these challenges are not meant to destroy them. They are sacred trials, training grounds for their soul. Their heightened emotions, their vivid dreams, their restless hearts are not punishments. They are preparation. They teach the chosen Pisces to discover their strength, to learn that sensitivity does not make them weak but makes them powerful. Their tears are sacred rivers cleansing the path, and their struggles are sacred fires shaping their destiny. Another challenge they face is misunderstanding. The world is not always kind to those who see beyond the surface. People may call them unrealistic or too emotional. They may even be judged as fragile or naive. Yet beneath that softness lies a resilience that only God could have placed within them. For every misunderstanding, there is a hidden blessing. It teaches them to trust their own inner voice above the noise of the world, to walk by faith when others cannot see the path. Yes, these Pisces are chosen, but chosen does not mean easy. Chosen means tested. Chosen means refined, through struggle until they shine with a brilliance that no shadow can extinguish. Every trial is part of the divine script. Every wound is part of the sacred preparation. And when they finally rise into their true purpose, the very challenges that once threatened to break them become the proof of their power, the evidence that they were never walking alone. The blessings they bring to others. When a Pisces born on these sacred days walks into a room, something changes even if no one can quite explain it. There is a presence about them, a softness that carries strength, a silence that speaks louder than words. People may not always realize why, but they feel lighter around them. These chosen Pisces carry an energy that cleanses the air, that soothes the restless, that comforts the broken. They are not just individuals, they are living sanctuaries where others can rest their weary souls. One of the greatest blessings they bring is healing. Not the kind that comes from medicine alone, but the kind that touches the heart and spirit. Sometimes it is through words that arrive at the exact moment someone needs them. Other times it is through a simple presence that makes others feel safe enough to breathe again. Their compassion is not passive. It is active. It is alive. It is a river of divine love that flows through them, reaching places within people that no logic could ever reach. These Pisces are also guides. Their intuition leads them to speak truths that others cannot see. They may not always plan their words, yet when they speak, it feels like the universe itself is speaking through them. To those who are lost, they shine as lighthouses. And the beauty of a lighthouse is that it does not chase ships, it simply shines. The ships find their way because the light refuses to go out. So it is with these Pisces. They do not force people to follow them. They inspire others simply by being who they are. The blessing they carry also brings stability in a world that often feels unstable. For friends, for family, for strangers even, they become anchors. In times of crisis, when others collapse under pressure, they are the ones who remain calm, offering reassurance not only with words, but with the peace that radiates from their spirit. This is not an ordinary gift. This is the mark of a soul blessed by God, chosen to be a living reminder that love is greater than fear. How to unlock their divine power. Having these gifts is one thing, but living fully in them requires awakening. Many chosen Pisces walk through life sensing that they are different, yet not knowing how to use their light. Unlocking their divine power is both a responsibility and a sacred journey. And it begins with understanding that their connection to the divine is real, that their intuition is not imagination, but guidance from the higher realms. The first key is silence. These Pisces must create space in their lives for stillness, for prayer, for meditation. In the quiet moments, their soul hears the clearest guidance. Water is especially powerful for them. Spending time near rivers, lakes, or the sea recharges their energy and strengthens their spiritual clarity. Even bathing with intention can become a ritual of cleansing, washing away negativity and restoring divine alignment. Another key is the practice of writing. For these Pisces, dreams are messages. Visions often arrive disguised as symbols. By writing them down, they begin to see patterns. They begin to understand the language of the unseen. Journaling is not just about memory, it is about revelation. Over time, their own words become a sacred book, filled with guidance from beyond the veil. Boundaries are also essential. Because their compassion is so vast, they must learn that saying no is an act of love too. Protecting their energy does not mean rejecting others. It means preserving the purity of their light so that it can shine stronger. Without boundaries, they risk burning out, drowning in the emotions of others. With boundaries, they become stronger vessels for divine love, pouring from a place of fullness rather than exhaustion. Finally, affirmation and identity play a vital role. Every day, chosen Pisces should declare words that align them with their higher calling. Sentences such as, "I am a keeper of divine light. I walk in truth. I walk in love. I walk in strength." These are not just affirmations. They are spiritual activations. Each word builds a shield, strengthens their aura, and anchors their soul in its true power. When they embrace silence, when they connect with water, when they record their visions, when they protect their energy, and when they speak divine truth into their lives, they unlock the fullness of their blessing. They step into the role they were always meant to play, not just living for themselves, but living as instruments of light in a world that is desperate for guidance. As we reach the end of this journey together, let us pause and reflect on everything that has been revealed. To be a Pisces is already to walk in the realm of mystery, to be a bridge between the visible and the invisible, to carry both the tenderness of the heart and the strength of the spirit. But to be born on those rare and chosen days is something even greater. It is to live as a living testament that God's hand still writes upon the world, not with ink, but with human souls who shine brighter than the storms that surround them. You see, the blessing of these Pisces is not found only in what they receive, but in what they are destined to give. They are lights planted in places where darkness once ruled. They are healers in families that carried wounds for generations. They are voices of faith in times when silence threatened to consume hope. They are proof that even in the face of trials, even when the world seems heavy, the divine will always make a way for love to triumph. And perhaps the greatest truth is this: their very existence is a gift not only for themselves, but for everyone they encounter. The challenges they have faced, the tears they have shed, the nights they have walked alone were never wasted. Each difficulty was a hidden blessing, a secret preparation, an invisible training ground shaping them into the powerful beings they were always meant to be. Where others saw brokenness, heaven saw transformation. Where others saw weakness, God saw strength. The chosen Pisces is not fragile. They are refined. They are not lost. They are guided. They are not cursed. They are blessed beyond measure. And for you who are listening now, if your soul resonates with these words, if your heart beats a little faster as you hear this truth, then perhaps you are one of them. Perhaps you were born on one of these sacred days, and your life is the proof of divine favor. But whether you are or not, let this message remind you of something greater. The universe does not make mistakes, and your story, too, is written with purpose. Every heartbeat carries meaning. Every struggle has value. Every step is part of a path that leads you closer to the divine light within you. So rise with courage. Walk with faith. Let your soul remember that you are never alone. Heaven is closer than you think, and the blessing that rests on you is stronger than the storms that test you. Stand tall in your authenticity. Let your compassion be your shield. Let your faith be your sword. And let your love be the fire that lights the way for others. Because this world does not simply need more people. It needs more souls who remember who they are. And you, chosen Pisces, you are here to remind the world of the power of divine love. Carry this truth with you as you leave this moment. You are extraordinary. You are radiant. You are chosen. Your presence is not an accident. It is a promise. And every day you live with faith, you fulfill that promise, becoming the living proof that light always wins over shadow, that love always wins over fear, and that God's blessing is not a story of the past, but a reality in the present. If this message touched your heart, let it continue to guide you forward. Do not stop here. There is more to discover, more to awaken, more to remember. Stay with us, because every word spoken in this space is meant to lift you, to empower you, and to remind you of the greatness that already lives inside you. Watch the other videos on this channel, for each one carries seeds of wisdom that may awaken something new in your spirit. And so, with reverence and with joy, we close this chapter. May you walk in light. May you walk in strength. May you walk in faith. And above all, may you always know that you are seen, you are loved, and you are blessed. This is your journey. This is your power. This is your truth.